Hello audience.
Hi.
I'm Benjamin, he's Gary. We are game developers. And some years ago we developed a little game during our free time, which has been paused for some years because we had our jobs and work. And we decided like 2 months ago to put it back on the scene. And to open source it, so that's an opportunity for us to present it to you, and specifically to speak about monogame, which is the base of code we use for our game engine. So this is a little presentation of our game. It's a 2D arcade game. Maybe you can launch the video. That's illustrated. So it's 2 versus 2 robots who plays a game like football. So basically there's some arena with like lasers or things like this, and you have about 2 or 3 minutes to beat your opponent. It's a very simple arcade games with dual stick controls and gamepad, and it's meant to be played in multiplayer, even if there is an IA. And the best way to present it is maybe to have a little game, so you can see it in live.
So we need people? Or?
Yeah, maybe it's 4-player game, so if
we can have 3 players, 3 people to come. Jesse?
I'll play if nobody else, but you guys should come play. I've already played.
Just 1 minute.
Yeah, come.
T'as pas mis les SFX, je crois.
So, anyone? Yes, the third one.
Tu as planté.
Je sais pas si ça a planté ou si je l'ai éteint avec les manettes.
Attends, il y a trop de fenêtres.
Je suis pas très bon en si console, en vrai.
C'est pas grave.
Après ça gamin.
So I'm going to play with you on the computer.
Settings, je crois. Oui, plutôt SFX.
What's the control?
Yeah, so the controls have left thumb stick and these 2 buttons. So you move with this one, and you can shoot with this, and pass with this one. Alright. And if you don't have the ball, you can dash on your opponent with this one. Okay. So sorry.
This one is shoot.
Oh, yes. So you can press start to join.
What is that?
There. And you can choose a team with Alright. There it goes. That's it. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
We can have more playing later if you want.
Okay, so the main idea is to speak a little bit on how we made this game. And the point is, everything we use, almost everything we use is open source, and we could develop the game entirely on a Linux platform and also on a Windows platform, because I'm a Linux user, is more Windows user, and we could collaborate both in the development of the game. Gary's will talk a little bit later of the technical blocks we use for the engine. So Monogame and C# and Mono, the free open source implementation. For the assets, graphics you just saw, we mainly use Blender. Even it's in 2D top view, we render it. We made it the arenas in 3D and render it in 2D and several layers to after change the colors and some settings too. And the other graphics, like more 2D sprite art, were made in GIMP. We do also Audacity to edit some sound effects. And music was done with a Windows tool, sequencer, which is Reaper, because back in the time, like 4 years ago, hardware was not as good as today, and was Garden neither. So, but it worked really well with Wine, and yes, it's pretty cool to not be stuck and just stuck in wanted to use only open source solutions when you can finally go further and use proprietary softwares when needed. Next slide. I will also speak about more than development of the game and how you can make a game with open source tools, and also publish a game if you want an open source game. And you can use the way you will use it if you do a traditional any game. Like, you can publish your build on Steam if you want to go to the mainstream solution, and keep it open source too on your own GitHub. Just maybe take care of the license if you use code or art in Creative Commons, for example. Just take care there is no restriction on commercial uses. You can also use like more indie-like platform like itch.io that actually use a game we just publish a game on it, or maybe Humble Bundle, which has DRM-free options, or it's less common but open source specific distribution like Frama Games, for example, have a store-like web page with many open source games. If you need to monetize your game, even if it's open source, you still can with a traditional donation button, or with a Kickstarter or Ulule or something like this, if you need to raise funds to implement new features, or even to just make the build pay like in the store and keep the source free if someone want to compile it by himself. Okay, so now we will speak of the reason on why we open source the game, because it was not at the beginning something we just thought about. It came after some reflection we had, because at the beginning Monogames was a free, an open source port of XNA, so the Microsoft frameworks and tools to build game for Xbox and Xbox Live Store. And it got open sourced, and I was used to work with open source tool in Linux, so it was finally quite logic that the game itself just come open source too. And we know the game is not quite finished and we could add many more features, but we do not have time and we have another project to work on, so we feel that the community could also, if they want and like it, to implement new things. Yeah, pedagogy, because we, and especially Gary, wrote a game engine built on monogames, and there is not so many 3D game engine multi-platform available, so it could be cool to people to just dig in it, in the source code if they want. And finally, because we wanted to have a voice to like manifest and promote the more transparency and more open-minded way to develop, to think about things, and just to tell people that sharing it's a benefit for everyone in society. So that's why. Yeah. So I will give the microphone to Gary to speak about the game engine.
So the game is made with Monogame, which is open source project, which was the goal was to replace XNA, which was made by Microsoft 10 years ago. It's a C# game development framework that in the beginning was for Windows and Xbox 360. It is one of the platforms that kickstarted the independent game, I think, because it was before Unity, and it was at the time when the games like Braid, Castle Crasher, things like this, started emerging. So Monogame use Mono to run C# on any platforms. So we have a quick list of platforms you can use, and some games we have used Monogame. So why Monogame? XNA is a really, really good foundation. It's really a basic layer. It's not a game engine. So it takes care of every complicated stuff, like DirectX calls, sound, every low-level programming is taken care of. So we're free to build on that. And because XNA is quite old for game development time, it has a lot of history and a good community. And many libraries have been created for or adapted for XNA and Monogames. There is a few game engines, libraries for anything you can think of, physics, asset loading, sound, input. And because it's C#, it shares many projects with Unity. And many assets that were built for Unity have been ported in some way or another to Monogame. And why we use it? Well, first, it's not Unity. Unity is proprietary software, and it's, as it was said, it's a closed box. So when something is not working for you, or not working at all, you can't do anything, and it's a problem. And there is a lot of libraries for Unity, but because they have an asset store where you can pay for software, it's not as easy to get what you need. And also, for some historical reason, we started using XNA games back in the day I was a student, and Monogame was really easy to transition to open source code. So we wrote a custom game engine on top of Monogame, and because Monogame is non-opinionated, which means it doesn't make everything for you. It just provides functionality, but you don't have to do things in its way. So it's really easy to add some features on it, and you don't have to write a full engine. You just need to write what you need, like creation and management of game objects, some input or debugging, and that's it. You can call it an engine. And because there is lots of open source libraries, it was easy to mix and match and use source code from everywhere. So it was easy to implement things like text-based data sets with Lua, parsing assets at runtimes. If you want to try in textures, you don't have to resume and reload the whole game. And we also have made a tool for remote data viewing and editing at runtime, which can be seen there. Oh, it is. So this is data for another game, but you can have, this is a tool that will interface through network to the game, and you can have feedback on variables, and you can input data, change variables. So it's something really valuable for quick iterations and quick game development. And yes, it's some of the technology we use for the game. So Monogame can use both DirectX or OpenGL for graphics, but we targeted only OpenGL. We use also OpenAL and OGG Vorbis for all the sound. Lua is used for text assets, and we have a very good physics engine named Farseer, which was made for XNA like about 10 years ago, and it's still very good. And that's it. Je vais finir. And so we are working. Well, it's there.
Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
That's it. It's good. Any questions? Yes.
What kind of distro are you using? Are you using Ubuntu Studio? Because I know it has a lot of creativity tools.
It's Linux, so it's Benjamin.
So,
Yes. Do we use any specific Linux distribution, like Ubuntu Creative Suite?
Ubuntu Studio.
Ubuntu Studio.
No, I did use yes, Mint, which is based on Ubuntu, and I downloaded the KX Studio packages, which provides more than I need to do everywhere we did in the game. But I think Ubuntu Studio could also match our needs. I tried it back in the time. And yes, it was pretty cool, but I preferred the KX. It's more up to date. No, today Ubuntu Studio is, I guess, quite a bit outdated on some of the apps.
How long time did it take to develop the game?
So the game started like about 5 years ago, and then we got work to do, so it was put on the back burner. And then, yeah, recently we got the time to finish it and give it a proper release. So, but but everything was done 5 years ago. Yes.
Is there a way to play multiplayer on a single computer, like by using the keyboard? Because I miss these times, like 20 years ago, when you got 4 people in the same keyboard.
So the question is there a way to play the game with only the keyboard and the gamepad? And no, we don't. Maybe we should, but the problem with keyboards is you have limited input. You can't press 10 keys at the same time. And we did the game in thinking about all they call the couch games. You just sit on the couch, grab a pad and play. Yes, question?
Since you started working a long time ago, did you maybe change your mind on the technology? And if you had to restart the project right now, would you have used something different, or would you still go with the same engine?
Yeah. The question is, because the game was started a long time ago, would we do anything differently, or did anything change? No, I would do exactly the same thing. Monogame is still very active, still implementing new platforms, like the PS4 support was available during our pause. The community is still there, and Monogame is still good. And Unity didn't change much in the meantime. They have a new shiny renderer, better UI functionality, but I would say that's about it. And so I think it's the best way to have your hand on the code is still Monogame is still a good solution.
Other than Unity and Monogame, do you think there is another things on that, or?
Is there any other good engine other than Unity and Monogame? But it's a tough one. Well, if you look on game that are released, like on Steam or anywhere, you see that many games use Unity. And apart from that, you see people using Game Maker with really good results. And Game Maker is interesting because you don't have to dig too deep into a code. So if you're not a programmer by trade, you can use a Game Maker with good results. And there is many other engines. I can't name them all. I know there will be a talk about Godot engine. There is Love, which is based on Lua, which has lots of good feedback. You have other options. Yeah.
Maybe we should stop there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.